Yesterday we were in the 25th shloka. Please repeat after me. In fact, repeat the 24th shloka also. Achedyo yamadapyoyam Akledyo shoshya evacha Nitya sarvagatasthanu Achaloyam sanatana Avyaktoyam achintyoyam Avikaryoyamuchyate Tasmadevam viditvainam Nanusochitumarhasi. So in the 24th shloka, Bhagavan was trying to explain to Arjuna that every being that is alive is endowed with a living principle, that because of whose presence all the various activities through various organs of perception, action, mind and intellect can function in the outside world is verily enlivening. And that which is enlivening is indestructible. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, nachaitam kledayantyapah, nashoshayati marutah. That the four elements of the five that we have, those four cannot touch, cannot impact the fifth of the element, which is very subtle. The space cannot be touched, the space cannot be destroyed by the earlier four elements. Nainam chindanti shastrani. The shastra cannot destroy, the fire cannot burn, the water cannot drown, the air cannot suffocate. Therefore, he says, Achedyaha, Adakyaha, Akledyaha, Asosyaha. Why? Nityaha, Sarvagataha, Sthanuhu, Achaloyam, Sanatana. Because it is eternal, all-pervasive substratum, which is the stable platform for all the movement to occur. It is immovable and it is the most ancient one. The reason I am just giving you the word meaning, because yesterday we went in depth into the 24th shloka. So in that conclusion, Bhagavan says, continuing in the 25th shloka, Avyaktaha Achintyaha Avikaryaha Tasmat Evam Viditvainam Nanusochitu Arhasi. Avyaktaha, that which cannot be perceived, this Atma Chaitanya cannot be perceived by our organs of perception. Achintyaha, it cannot be thought about because it is not something which is the realm of the mind and intellect. It is not a feeling, it is not an emotion, it is not a thought that can be conceived by the intellect. Achintyaha. Yesterday we left it at that. Avikaryaha. Avikaryaha, that which does not modify. Vikara is modifications. Avikaryaha, that which does not modify. The physical body modifies. Asti jayate vardhate viparinamate apakshiyate vinashyati iti sthula shariraha dehaha. That it is conceived, then it is born, it grows, changes occur, and then slowly the deterioration happens in the body, and then finally the body is left behind and the jiva moves on. These changes happen in that physical body. Mind, we need not say, our own experience says it quite clearly that it is never on a stable platform. Constantly, like a monkey, jumps from one vishaya to the other. Intellect, which is the field of ideas and convictions, our convictions change when the convenience changes. If it is not convenient, then we change the conviction. I don't know, suddenly I remember a very old movie scene that this lover is waiting for the beloved and he says it to his assistant, अगर वो ये मोमबत्ती जलने तक खत्म होने तक नहीं आई, so everybody is expecting कि मैं छोड़ दूंगा, भूल जाऊंगा. He says, दूसरी मोमबत्ती जला लूंगा. The conviction keeps changing. It is never permanent. So none of these that which are modifying can ever be that which is the Atma Chaitanya or the Self. It is something in whose presence all of these function. It is something that which can make use of all of these different components to be put to a certain use. Earlier I used to give the example of the car, that there are four wheels, there is a bonnet, there is an engine underneath, there is a dicky in the back, there are seats, there is a steering wheel, there are three pedals, the accelerator, the clutch and the brake. But all by itself it cannot move. There needs to be a certain intelligence that can move it. The reason I said I used to give this example more clearly and not these days, because there is artificial intelligence which is trying to drive the car. The scariest. All these components are put together for someone, the intelligence being to be behind it and to take it from point A to point B, to be safe for yourself as well as for the others. Similarly, the body, the mind, the intellect and its field, all of this is something that can be functional in its mere presence. but it is not that which gets impacted by it. What we call as the impact of the outside world on us is usually the mind equipment or the intellect equipment, or sometimes even the physical equipment, not the self. Tasmat evam viditvainam. Therefore, understanding this firmly, O Arjuna, not that this is a new concept to you. When Arjuna was going through the Gurukula system, it was not just Kshatriya Dharma, Raja Dharma that was taught. The Upanishads, the Puranas, the Itihasas, that was also taught to them. So these concepts are nothing new to him. It is just that we have to be reminded of it time and again. It's quite natural that being engaged in this vyavahara, our minds can be overridden by our emotions, forgetting some of the basic truths of life. Therefore, Bhagavān Krishna is reminding Arjuna of the thought pattern which was taught to him in the Gurukula itself. Moreover, Arjuna's one of the logic that he presented in the first chapter was, all this will be killed and destroyed and I would have been the cause of it. So that thought is taken for discussion. Every single thought pattern or theme that Arjuna had picked in the first chapter to substantiate why running away from the battlefield is the solution, Bhagavan is providing the clear answers in this second chapter. So in answering to Arjuna's fear, he says, Tasmat evam viditvainam, having known this fact, na anushochitum arhasi. You do not grieve. You should not be arhasi. You should not deserve to grieve on that which is to happen. Nothing can stop. That which is born will die. Here you have to fulfill your responsibilities. There is no shortcut, there is no other way. So in summing up this thought, the field of responsibilities cannot be avoided. You cannot run away from it. The only way to get to the other side is through it and not avoiding it. So muster up your courage and understand from where the courage can be born. It is from this clarity of understanding the purpose, clarity of understanding the schematics of it. Therefore, Arjuna, you grieving, ये आपको शोभा नहीं देता. It is not worthy of you, arhasi, worthy of you to be grieving. Supposing I do not believe in life after death. One time, one life done. Supposing that is the kind of mindset. So that is taken up to discussion. Atha chainam nityajatam nityam va manyase mritam tathapitvam mahabaho naivam shochitum arhasi. So in this particular shloka there are two different thoughts that are being presented with the same words but two different ideas being presented. Nitya Jatam, meaning they are born and they die. This is the only opportunity. That is one meaning. Second meaning is the meaning that which the Charuvakas, the materialists, the capitalists, there is no purpose for life. These are called the atheists. There is no purpose for life. You are accidentally born. There is nothing to achieve in life. Therefore, while you are alive, मौज करो, enjoy. But then, in order to enjoy, in order to get the things that which would make me happier and comfortable, I need paisa. Now, how do I generate that? Is it simple? Rinam kritva, take a loan. Rinam kritva, ghritam pibet. The best of the food is supposed to be cooked in ghee. If you go into the northern Indian weddings, the demand usually is खाना देसी घी में बनना चाहिए. Why? That is considered as उत्तम खाना. ऐसे वैसे लड्डू नहीं, देसी घी के मोतीचूर लड्डू. Ghee is supposed to be that premium. Rinam kritva ghritam pibet. Don't just eat ghee, drink ghee, enjoy. Yavat jeevet sukham jeevet. As long as you live happily. Now what if I take loan and the one that I have taken the loan from, he starts pestering? Is it simple? Apply the same Siddhanta again. In order to redeem yourself from this loan, take few more loans. I think we live this life in today Kali Yuga. Most of the things that which we procure earlier in the shops, there were statements: no credit, give cash, take material, no credit. Nowadays the lifestyle is everything is on credit, and you don't have to necessarily pay back the entire amount. Towards all that which you are taking on loan, on credit, you just have to pay a certain percentage of it and they will let you enjoy. House is on loan, car is on loan, all the gadgetry that is there at home is on loan. Gone are the days when the house had one TV. It looked like a big Ganesh, with the tubes, big bellied. Now it is flat screen. Plasma का जमाना गया, अभी LED. 1080p गया, now it is 4K. One TV per house is also done. It is every room has a connection, a TV, a flat screen. Because when he wants to see the news, she wants to see the serials. When they both are fighting for the remote, their mother-in-law or father-in-law or mother, they want to see Bhakti channel. Therefore what? Flat screens. All of this gadgetry equipment also on loan. For the posterity, a farmhouse with a little house there so that you can spend some vacation, also on extended loan. You will buy the first house and put it as a collateral for the second house. That first house also is on loan. What if you cannot pay it back? ठीक है. You take another credit card with a higher percentage. Through that, pay these In many of the Western worlds, when the candidate does not pay back after 7-8 credit cards, there is an agency in between. I don't know if it has caught up in India right now. There is an agency in between. Because if they have to drag them to the court, the amount of cost that they'll end up spending in the court is much more than what they have to give the bank. So the agency says, now you owe them this many lakhs. How much can you give? We will settle it with the banks. It's all the same Siddhanta of Charvaka. The capitalistic society is Charvaka society. Take loan, आज मौज करो, ऐश करो. So in their principle, life has no other major purpose. By mistake you are born, one day you will die. Nitya jata. You are born, you die. You are born, you die. There is no seeming purposefulness to it. Have you seen heaven? Have you seen hell? If somebody were to come back and say, yes, we will be scared of that fellow. Our near one, if they come back and say, there is, usko dekh ke hum darenge. Then we will start doing Hanuman Chalisa part daily. Morning 11 times, evening 11 times. Why? भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा. Nobody has seen heaven or hell. The scriptures say it, so what? So for such a mindset, so there are two concepts here. One, then it is a constant thing that birth is happening, death is happening, you have one chance. Then there are those like the Charvakas where they say, maybe you are born again and again and again, you die again and again. It's a purposeless rhythm that is happening. There is no superior motive, there is no ulterior motive. It just happens that you are born. If you take those two concepts, Tathapitvam Mahabaho, hey Arjuna, hey Mahabahu, probably the first address before Bahubali became famous, Mahabahu was Arjuna. So, hey Arjuna, Tathapi, even in this logic of those that believe there is only one life, they say, YOLO, you only live once. Whether you take that concept or you take the other concept that it is a randomness. You are born, you die, you are born, you die. There is no purpose to it. It is like mushrooms, that it is born, you die, born, you die. And as long as you are alive, enjoy. Even in that concept, if you take that to be your ideology, even then, birth is and death is a happening which you cannot avoid. Therefore, that which is inevitable, why are you scared of it? What season is this? Summer. And that too we are in peak summer. Thank goodness you are not sitting, we are not having this in Vijayawada or Ramagundam. Ramagundam will roast you alive. Vijayawada will bake you alive. That is the only difference. One place it is dry heat that will kill you. The other place it is you sweat so much along with the heat. So it is baking. So it bakes you to death, the other is roasting you to death. Summers, this is how it is going to be. Swamiji, when you are sitting there, the lights are there, एक फैन लगा लो, काम चलता रहेगा. It is inevitable. In summer, it is a known fact that it is going to be hot. Find methods and means to cope up with it and get along. Complaining about it is not a solution. Find a method and means to cope up and get along. Don't we do that? Unknowingly, you have never seen a rose plant, it looked so beautiful, you went, tried plucking it, the thorns pricked. Do you stop? What do? You become intelligent. You develop methods how to use, what to use. But you don't say that I am going to avoid touching it. क्यों? एक बार छुप गया था. As an adult, have you ever slipped and fallen? Yes or no? Have you ever tripped and fallen? Have you stopped walking? नहीं बाबा, last time I did, I tripped, I will not walk anymore. Do you ever give up? While you are eating, you bite your own tongue. Do you take a hammer and tod dalna? Do you break all your teeth? It is the same teeth and gums which will come to compassionately relieve the pain of that tongue which has just bitten it. You don't say that I'll stop eating. There is that Hindi saying, na rahegi baas, na bajegi basuri. Why eat? It is only when you eat that your teeth will... No, you don't avoid. You will learn how to deal with it. Similarly, this is a statement of fact. That which is born will die. The eventuality of it is death is inevitable. But then so attached are we to this body, mind and intellect, and we start creating not just a fear psychosis of it, but we connect the dots and become so paranoid about it. Just the other day somebody called and said, Swamiji, May month is coming. So, my Chachaji died in May. My father and mother also died in May. So before she could conclude the statement, I said, you may also in May. Who is to stop? If you are born, death is inevitable. Just the other day I spoke. Isn't it? What are you trying to connect? They have all died with a convenience that in month of May, one Shraddha you can do. All of them are covered. Otherwise, imagine to do 3 different timings, to do 3 different Shraddha Dharmas. 1 month it is finished. They died looking at your convenience. Now for that, do you have to fear? Your May is coming, I don't know what will happen. No, it will be a problem if I die. You will not have a problem because you will not be there. To carry the dead body, others will have a problem. Isn't it? To say that I will have a problem when death happens, you are not there to continue to say that I have a problem. What are you worried about? It's a natural occurrence, it will happen. Tathapitvam mahabaho naivam shochitum arhasi. Grieving is not the solution. Be mentally prepared. एक ना एक दिन मेरा भी नंबर आएगा. See, the courage should be, if Lord Yama comes, how should we be prepared? If Yama comes and says, चलो दिलदार चलो, चांद के पार चलो, you should be able to say, हम भी तैयार चलो. क्या खा के इसको देख के डर? What is there so reckless about it, to fear about it? It's a natural occurrence. Let it happen. See, as long as you are alive, every effort should be put to sustain. I am not saying that you should hopelessly give up and commit a suicide. That is not a way either. And that is a wrong concept again. In Hindi, suicide is called not Shuddha Hindi, Khud Khushi. Because they cannot tolerate the kind of pressures and tensions now or face the consequences, therefore, in order to relieve themselves so that they can be happy, they'll end. But we believe in Karma Siddhanta. Wherever you have ended it, in the next life, you will begin right from there. So do you want to finish it now? Or do you want to continue it in next life? Oh, in marriage counseling this works beautifully. You want to separate, go different ways? Oh, but this prarabdha will continue even in your next life. Do you want to finish here and now or continue it in next life? Bapre, how itself. Cannot run away from it. Face it here and now, face it, take it by horns. Mrityu is another experience wherein you quit this old body, dilapidated body, to move to another fresh new body, another chance. Why being so cranky about it? Arjuna, wake up, be the man that you are known to be. And then, as a conclusion to this thought which is started in the last shloka, he says, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyerthe natvam shochitum arhasi. Now that you understand it is inevitable, that which is inevitable, you have to endure it. Why endure? Endure again shows as though it is a pressure, it is a burden. Ayyo, I have to go through it. Instead, find that sense of humor wherein you refuse to grieve, refuse to be miserable. The attitude should be bring it on. Is that all you got? Bring it on. I will find a method to face it. Have you ever purchased a lock? Tala? Lock? If there was an intelligent, over-intelligent businessman who said, Tala should be safe, therefore I don't sell the key with it, do you think that business would survive? Wherever there is a problem, there will be a solution. Wherever there is a problem, the lock, there will be a key. You just have to be quiet enough, composed enough to find that solution. Instead of ranting like a child,
अय्यो ये क्या हो रहा, अय्यो ये क्या हो रहा, why is this happening to me?
that's a wrong foul cry.
Why is this happening to me always?
These two questions can be answered. The third scenario is very sadistic. Why is this happening to me always only? Very sadistic. Meaning, if I am getting whipped, why me? I can give you an answer. Why me always? I can also give you an answer. Why me always only? Very sadistic. Which means what? If there are 15 others that are lined up and they are also getting smacked, then I am okay. Why only me? I mean, it is repeating because we are not approaching life with an intelligence that is being provided through the Karma Yoga Siddhanta. Do it diligently, do it in a balanced way, do it in a dedicated way. Once you do it, it shall not repeat. That vasana is cleared. Until then, it will keep repeating. And we blame that on Bhagavan, saying, why is Bhagavan always repeating? He is not repeating it so that he can torment you. He is such benevolent that he is giving again and again an opportunity for us to grow out of it. Imagine if there was only one shot and you failed at it and you are decided, done for life. He keeps providing those experiences. That is the attitude to understand it. Inevitability should not be endured. Inevitability should be, the forbearance should be born out of a sense of humor. That I refuse to be miserable. I will find a method to be putting a smile on. Keep smiling. We worship Bhagavān Shiva. One of the names of Bhagavān Shiva is Neelakantha. What did he do? He took the halahala. He did not allow it to make his suffering. He did not leave it for others to suffer. He placed it in his kantha. That he should not be impacted, the others also should not be impacted. Protect them. There will be pain, misery, sorrow in life. Just because there is pain, misery, sorrow, we end up saying, "Mera mood kharab ho gaya. Therefore I lash out at the world." You don't have any business to lash out at the world. These are facts of life. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. That which is born will die. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. That which is dead and gone will again come back in another format. That is also given. So when this continuance is already understood, what are you feeling so scared of? What are you miserable about? It is not that that person is dead and gone. It is my attachment. What should I do? Grow out of it. Find a method to cope with it. Because even if you try to avoid, you cannot. You will have to go through it. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad pariharyarthe apariharyarthe, that is inevitable. Knowing that it is inevitable, the choice is by the individual. Should I be miserable or should I find a method to be happy? Swamiji, there is so much happening. My in-laws are in hospital, my husband is lost the job, my children don't listen to me.
Why is Bhagavan doing this to me?
Compare your life with the life of Pandavas. When Yudhishthira was 5 years of age, that was when Nakula Sahadeva were born, and father died. So single mother. Poor mother brought them all the way from the Badrinath area back to Delhi. Constantly people were plotting to eliminate them. Single-handedly that mother, salutations to her. Her resolved existence to continue without caving in. Barely when Bhima was 5 years old, the first assassination attempt on the Pandavas. They were beaten up, they were poisoned, they were tried to be burnt alive. Through and through their entire life, up until this battlefield, almost 9 decades of being constantly tormented. That which was rightfully theirs was snatched away right under their noses. They had to live a nobody's life in forest and in incognito. And worst of all, Draupadi was molested. She got angry. She was furious. The questions that she asked, they are mind-boggling. How logical, even in that situation where you are molested, your entire gracefulness is ripped out of you. Even there she applies logical approach. In the Telugu Mahabharata, you find Tanodi Nannodina, Nannodi Tanodina. Did he first lose himself and then put me on bed to lose me, or was it the other way around? If I was lost first, I can understand his logic. But if he himself has lost himself, you have no rights on putting me on as a bet. And she looks at all the elders and says, how did you allow this happen? Shame on you. Imagine so much has happened in their life. And most importantly, that Vigraha, that which you and I worship, of the Almighty as Bhagavān Krishna, that Vigraha was Sajiva with them. Bhagavan was with them every step of the way. Did it reduce their prarabdha? Did it avoid their prarabdha? Did it evaporate their prarabdha? No. His being with them was to teach how to face it, not reduce it. Shouldn't it teach a major lesson to us as a story? That in life there will be these kind of tormenting, pressured experiences. We will be pushed into environments, cornered, where we don't have any other option but to go through it painfully, miserably. That is how life will unfold. In spite of the life and its unfolding nature to torment us, still the choice is ours whether I succumb to it, cave into it and be miserable. I can still choose to keep my head high and smile at it. But that needs immense depth to be able to absorb that experience, digest it, evolve to have a smile on the face. छोटे छोटे चीजें जिंदगी में होते हैं, इतनी दुर्बलता. One statement that I will never forget, that which Guruji always often repeats, and what's a simple statement. Don't rush to Bhagwan saying how big your problem is. Turn around, tell the problem how big your Bhagwan is. Is that all the faith that you have? Isn't it amazing? छोटे छोटे चीजें चलते रहते हैं. मावाड़ी की सीट खा ले दो, मावाड़ी के उद्योग खा ले दो. Go put the effort, find it. You've attempted 50 times, attempt another 100 times. See the dignity in labor and start doing something where you can start surviving, grow from there. Anybody stopping you? No job is a small job. With the cleaning lady that comes, missed something major. So I took the mop and I showed her as to how to. And then she said, Ajay Swamiji, no job is less, no job is more. Doing every job because it is your life and you have to live it. If I can't muster up courage to live my own life, do you think anybody has time and space for them to come and help us? They might for first, maybe second, maybe third. After that, if we don't muster up enough courage and build a steel backbone to stand up firm, they will start avoiding us as a plague. Then another layer of misery. Nobody helps. Nobody. This world is like a dog's tail. कुत्ते की दुम की तरह है. You help, but nobody comes to help. They have. They also have only so much of bandwidth where they can accommodate you and your problems. Hyderabad traffic is known, right? In that heavy traffic, if you know that there is going to be a heavy traffic, what do? You avoid that roads which are jammed always. Even though it is longer, you can reach faster. You start looking at alternatives, isn't it? If I, carrying my overloaded luggage in the traffic of life, go to everyone, maybe once or twice people will accommodate for you to pass through. Rest of it, after that, they will avoid wherever pathway you are walking. अरे बाबा, उसको झेलना मुश्किल है रे बाबा. Seriously, that is how we lose friends. Tighten your belt, steel up your backbone, face it. At the most, what will happen? You will fail. Learn from that failure, again attempt. Charai veti. Giving up is not a solution. Giving in is not a solution. Standing up, that which is right, that which is dharmic, keep doing it. Our own failures will teach us. Maybe I am not that intelligent enough to learn from others' fall, others' failures. I should be at least intelligent enough to learn from my own failures. How can I afford to keep committing the same mistakes again and again and again? I mean, all this Siddhanta is not to evaluate any person outside. వాడు చూడు ఇంత వింటున్నా వాడి జీవితంలో ఏ మార్పు రావట్లేదు. It is not for evaluating the other person. We do not have the arhata to do that. It is for self-evaluation only. Everybody has their own Mahabharata war happening. If you can, help. Otherwise, shut and mind your own business. Commenting on others, commenting on, degrading others, that is not the right way. Muster up enough courage to face it. These are inevitables. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama apayinah adityaha tan titikshasva bharata. Develop that endurance. Life will be like that. Therefore, when you raise your children, do not be overprotective of them. Be there on the side. Tell them, guide them. In spite of that, with their own independence that they want to experiment, they will fall, they will fail, they will slip. At that point, don't rub it into their face. Did I not tell you? That one act will corrupt their confidence. Instead, stand there. Beta, it's okay. Now that you know how the fall is, now that you know how the pain of the fall is, you know what to do. Try again. Encourage them to try again. Protecting them from all sides to be successful. Indian mindset, successful means 100 out of 100. How did you get only 98? That is not success. Because you may push them, you may fight with the teachers and the system to get them that 100 out of 100. Once they step out of your umbrella, आपके छत्र छाया से बाहर जब निकलेंगे, तब उनकी काबिलियत ऐसी होनी चाहिए कि गिरे तो तुरंत उठ जाए. That is a skill set that has to be developed in them. That resilience has to be developed into them. Arjuna was lucky that at 89 he had Bhagavān Krishna next to him to build that resilience. You are their Bhagavān Krishna. Develop that resilience in them. In order to develop in them, you should be experienced and firm enough in facing your difficulties, your problems, your miseries. Learning Vedanta will not remove these miseries. And for God's sake, don't keep these shlokas when somebody dies. This is not meant for death sabha. Why? Because death is mentioned. That Ghantasala shlokas, jabasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. ये उधर जाने के लिए नहीं है. It is for living, not for the dead, for the live ones, so that they can apply it in their day-to-day life. So much that it has become, almost about 28 years ago, I had gone to a village outskirts of Vijayawada, Mailavaram. I had said Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter. Nobody came. Why? Oh, Bhagavad Gita is for death. That is what the entire community told me, that it is for death. It is Ashubha. Pichi, very paityam, anni kalpite. Then immediately I called the person who organized it. I said, I am not giving up. Instead of putting it as 3rd chapter Bhagavad Gita, reprint. I said, Karma Yoga Siddhanta Rahasya. Crowd started coming. I cannot say that because wine is a vice and we believe in divine. And I don't want to deteriorate Bhagavad Gita to wine in the same bottle, different bottle. But it's the same message to be given. It is for those who are living and artfully live at it so that you can make the best of it. Not for the dead. Am I getting across? You can use it in the death sabha also. But don't be foolish enough to limit this knowledge saying it is for the dead only. But those who come, they are also grieving. This will support them, I understand. But don't create a enigma around it, saying it is only at the death sabha. Therefore, it is ashubha to chant Bhagavad Gita. Such a profound message being given. Isn't it that Buddha had said when somebody was grieving, "O wise one, I hear of your miraculous presence. Try to please bring my child back to life." He said, "Yes, probably I can help. All that I need is fistful of mustard seeds from that house which does not have death." So soon to realize that mother is that death is inevitable. ఏమవుతుందో చచ్చిపోతే నువ్వు ఉండవు, పీడ వదిలిపోతుంది. Being scared of death is not the solution. Isn't there that famous Hindi poetry? सर कटा सकते हैं लेकिन सर झुका सकते नहीं. क्यों झुका रहे हो अपने आप? If at all that head has to go down, it is at the highest altar of that divine, nothing else. Refuse to bend that head down to anything else in life. If you read the Rudram, the first entire Anuvaka, the biggest Anuvaka, the devotee who is chanting it, he is looking at the fierce form of Bhagwan Shiva, glowing, body, red matted hair, red eyes, full of that anger, with a bow and arrow aimed straight at the devotee. Says, Bhagavan, I have come to take, refuge at your feet. You being angry with me and with that Dhanush Bana aimed at, I may have done this wrong. And then as he moves forward to ask for that Sharanagati, that is when there is a transformation. He sees that his anger, his Dhanush Bana, and that fierce form is not towards the devotee. It is that which is tormenting the devotee, that which is stopping the devotee to grow, aimed at that. Then he sees the relief. Now that I am in your lap, I see your glory. And then starts the second Anuvaka onwards on the glories of Bhagavan Shiva. Have that confidence in that Bhagavan. Firm faith, unshakable faith. There will be difficulties. It doesn't mean that Bhagavan has given up on us. I have seen parents give up on children. I have seen children give up on parents. I have seen husband give up on wife, wife give up on husband. There is only one thing that doesn't ever give up, or one entity that doesn't ever give up. That is that Bhagavan towards the devotee. That's a guarantee. Mam ekam sharanam raja aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami. Courageously roars that truth that I am there. Hold on to me tight. But instead of holding on to that Bhagavan, we have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. What if Bhagavan doesn't? It is like the individual who is carrying the burden on his head while traveling on the train, doesn't want to leave that luggage under the sleeper. Why? बेचारे train को कुछ भार चढ़ेगा. You and your bhara is being, who is the Adhara? It is that Paramatma. He is already carrying it. Why doubt it? Learn how to smile through it. Not sarcastically, not teasingly. But you know you are smiling because you will find a way to get through it. Oh, this is a new challenge. Let me face it. What has Bhagwan through my prarabdha given an opportunity to look at? Smile and get through. You will find a solution. I am not saying miracles will happen suddenly, your problems will vanish. In order to face that, even the prayers are so that that courage is built, that dhairya is built, that patience is built to go through life with a smile. It's the most admirable quality of an individual when they can face through their life and not bend down, but take it by arms. And face it, while facing it, have a smile. We read so many stories. A 15-year-old revolting against the British. When was caught, presented in front of the judge. Says, what is your name? Says, Azad. What is your mother's name? Bharatma. Looking at that prideful fellow, he said, 45 lashes. एक लग जाएगा अपने पीठ पे, नानी याद आ जाएगी. 45 times his back was lashed at. He refused to give up the smile on his face. Such great sacrifices provided this beautiful freedom to face a simple thing, face your own life. We are not tormented like the Pandavas were tormented. माँ के बेलन के पड़े होंगे वो अलग बात है. Have you ever been lashed at 45 times? At the most, what will happen? Prepare your mind for the worst and start working towards delivering the best. The inevitability will not take you by shock, it will only be a surprise. I was prepared for that also mentally. Not a pessimistic way of life, a prepared mindset that also could be an option that I could land in. I am ready for it. Once you are ready for it, to face it, all the fear vanishes. Arjuna, I thought you knew better. What is this crying? Isn't it the inevitability? Don't you know it? Continuing, Bhagavan says, this is from a very empirical standpoint, vyavaharik standpoint, that which Arjuna had raised. That also is catered to. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyaktanidhananyeva tatra ka parivedana. Parivedana, paridevana, there is patantara. Both mean same. Vedana is grief. Parivedana, grief from all sides. Paridevana is also the same meaning. So there is a patantara. Avyaktadhini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidhanani eva. When the child is conceived, from the unmanifest the child is brought into the womb. Vyakta Madhyani comes out born. That is called Janma. Again goes back to Avyakta, to the unmanifest. Just like a magician, he will show that his hat is empty. He will run the entire stick through. He will remove the lid also and show, see, everything is empty. And covers it with a cloth. Suddenly, the pigeon appears. Oh, second pigeon appears. Oh, third pigeon appears. Oh, it is not from nothing. It was only hidden in such a way that you and I could not see it. Avyakta. Vyakta Madhya, the intermediary stage is when it is expressed in a manifest form, that which is tangible to my organs of perception and action, where I can handle, deal, tangible. Vyakta Madhyami. Again goes back to Avyakta, from where it started. This is often recognized in the worldly parlance as Nidhana. Nidhana meaning death. For every Nidhana, that which is yet to die, who is the support? Who is the substratum? Nidhana Pataye Namaha, Nidhana Patantikaya Namaha. Every day we chant during the Arati. That who is my substratum? Is that Bhagavan. You have provided an opportunity to express and experience this world. What you have given to me is your gift. What I do with it is my gift to you. I think during Hanuman Chalisa Yajna I had shared this experience. If you ever have been to Bombay, Sandipani Sadhanalaya, there is one of the most beautiful Shiva temples. This is a replica of that. The same sculptor family has created this also. Our Parameshwara. So as a brahmachari while studying, one of the duties is in the temple. There is a pujari. So most of the time our temple duty was very, very horrifying. There were two duties that was very hard. One was the temple duty and the other was the kitchen duty. The kitchen duty had the vessels where I had to sit inside the vessel to wash it. They were huge. Every meal, there was about 300 people minimum. The second one was the temple duty because the lamps were... Is there a lamp there, the tall one? There is a lamp. It is that big, almost like 6.5 feet, taller than me. It is broken down into threaded. You unthread it into about 10 different pieces. Bat ke dho. Like that there are 4. You have to really sweat it out. So once when I had this, the temple duty, the pujari said, I have an emergency, I have to go to the hospital. Can you cover me in the sanctum sanctorum? So got it. The outside, there is a person that writes a bill and other things. He is having an argument with a person that has come to offer puja to Bhagavan. So I called them both. I said, what is this heated discussion? He says, what kind of a fellow is this fellow? He has brought this, Cadbury's, eclairs, all these saying he should give this as Naivedya to Bhagavan. And that person turned to me. He said, because I was in the temple, he addressed me, Panditji. Poor Bhagavan, for ages, always daily he has been given that same coconut, the same banana, the same Naivedya every single day. Imagine from his standpoint, would he not be disgusted by the same things being offered? Very logical. And then he said, and what are we doing? Nothing. That which he has created, we are offering it back to him. What great have you done to offer it? Whereas these things, I have made it. These are all new. I am sure Bhagavan was never offered these things. I said, I like this fellow's attitude. I said, bring it. I opened all the packages and offered it. Because what reminded me of that was, what he gives us is his gift. What we do with it should be our gift to him. Instead, every step of the way repenting, unnecessarily taking as though the burden is on him. See, if you are carrying your bag, it is your weight. When does it become burden? When you are carrying someone else's weight. Right? That is a burden. Your karma, your prarabdha, your life experiences unfolding. How can it become a burden? And in order to face it, there is never a problem given by Bhagavan for which there is no solution which we cannot face. The solution is also equipped. In Rudram, in the very end, Ayam me hasto Bhagavan, Ayam me Bhagavattaraha, Ayam me Vishwabhe Esha Joyagam Shiva Bhimarshanaha. Blessed I am that I have two capable hands. May these hands be blessed that it becomes the bheshaja, the solution for me in my life. You have already provided. Give me the intelligence to know how to use it in the solution, as a solution for the problem that I have in life. Avyaktani bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyakta nidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. What is there to be so scared of? At the most, what will happen? People will look at you and smile. Look at them and tell them your teeth are yellow and you move on. बड़े हंसते हुए दांत तो पीले तुम्हारे जब. Why should we be careful when somebody else is giggling, smiling and teasing? Filter it out outside. I mean, these are not just the Vedanta principles because it is said in the book. These are the very principles that I try to live. And it has not failed me. We only say statements. बड़े-बड़े statement मारते रहते हैं हम लोग. When the going gets tough, it is only the tough that gets going. Where the heck is our toughness? Have you all heard that statement? When the going gets tough, it is only the tough gets going. Where is the toughness? Why are we giving up? Why are we giving in? Continuing. even after hearing so much, what is our response? Ascharyavat paschati kaschidenam Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyaha Ascharyavat chainamanya shrunoti Shrutvaapyenam vedana chaiva kaschit The logic as presented in Bhagavad Gita when I was trying to explain today. The response that I saw in your eyes, I was like, very right, sahi bola, laga, you all felt it. Ascharyavat paschati kashchidenam. When this knowledge, wisdom is given, we are surprised. What a beauty! What an amazing depth! Ascharyavat paschati. There are few who will Ascharyavat vadati. They will talk about it. So when you go back home, there are others at home. Such a surprising depth in Bhagavad Gita. Arre Bapre. Ascharyavat vadati. Talk about it in awe. Ascharyavat chainam anya shrunoti. And when you speak about it and others hear, they are like, अच्छा, ऐसा क्या? बहुत बढ़िया है. ये कोई लड्डू जलेबी नहीं है बहुत बढ़िया है बोलने के लिए. Once you hear Shravana, after Shravana, there has to be a disciplined, rigorous thought process behind it called manana. That once this knowledge is understood, it should be so firm that the paltry experiences that fly by in life, they should not be able to shake your conviction. Manana has to happen. After manana, a very intense nididhyasana, contemplation should happen to personalize this wisdom. Shravana leads to understanding. Manana removes all the doubts. And that wisdom that is gained through manana has to be personalized. Nididhyasana personalizes it. On YouTube and TV, do you watch the recipes and cooking channels? Ascharyavat pashyati. Ascharyavat vadati. वो चैनल में बहुत बढ़िया बताते हैं. Do you all watch? Or I am just making an example. You watch, okay. आश्चर्यवत श्रृणोति जब बता रहे हैं तो अरे when is the beauty in it? That has to be translated into understanding. The understanding has to come to a point of wisdom that without the recipe book you have to sit down and then cook and then eat. तब तो आएगा मजा. वो देखने में क्या पेट भरता है? Only the mother can say, दिल भर गया. For the rest of us, दिल के साथ पेट भी तो भरना है. So it has to translate into personalization of it. Without that, in spite of the opportunities that have been provided by Bhagavan, that you accidentally came by into the temple, you did not know the you came to say hi to Bhagavan. Either hi to Bhagavan or hi to Bhagavan. Either one of them. And you happened to see this satsang, you sat down for a few minutes, you got the opportunity to understand the wisdom that is there in Bhagavad Gita. And yet we complain, I don't know when Bhagavan's grace will be. If not this understanding, what else do you think is the grace? It is showering forth abundantly. And yet, Shrutva Pyenam, even after listening, Veda Nachaiva Kaschit, nobody puts that effort to personalize it and experience it as my own true nature. See, when we get up, after the satsang is done, we usually set right our kapada, dupatta, whatever. So when Swamiji was interpreting it, that is not setting their clothes right. The pearls of wisdom that have just fallen, बाहर जाते यथास्थानम प्रतिष्ठापयामि. Back to the square one. In Bhagavatam, in the Mahatmya, Narada Muni is helping Gokarna relieve his brother Dhundukari from Preta Atma. He elaborately organizes the Saptaha, Bhagavat Saptaha. Though everybody is a listener, only Dhundukari, that Pretatma, gets relieved from that bandha and goes to Vaikuntha. Naradji, he stops them. He says, this is not fair. This elaborate thing that was done, there were so many listeners, why are you being partial to take only Dhundukari? How come he is relieved? How come others are not? There the Vishnu Parshadas say, Shravanam tu sarve krutam. All of them did the Shravana. Manana nididhyasana natu krutam. The manana and nididhyasana were not done. Only Dhundukari applied it and then grew out of his bandha and then finally got moksha. Just by listening it doesn't help. It has to be supported by very sincere, disciplined effort of manana. And that manana wisdom that is born has to be personalized to experience that it is me the subject. All that which is objective world is perishable. I am the imperishable. This shloka is not to discourage. अब इतने सुनते हैं, इतनी बार सुनते हैं, फिर भी कुछ नहीं हुआ तो मेरा कहाँ चांस? If somebody is listening it for these many years, 20-30 years, all Upanishads done, all Bhagavad Gita done, Mandukya Karika is also done. I don't think I stand a chance. If even after reading so much they are not liberated, what is my chance? In Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's language, an intense, dispassionate approach in 3 days, you can ascertain Paramatma as your subjective experience. One day as I was explaining it, a gentleman raised the hand. I said, what about food and sleep in those 3 days? That is why we are still stuck. Because the focus is elsewhere. What a bold statement to make. In 3 days means कितने घंटे हुए? 72 hours. In 72 hours. But we should have that nishtha for that 72 hours. Coming from a profound experience of a Mahatma. So it is to create the wave of inspiration to those that lack that faith, lack that shraddha, lack that discipline. भैया केवल सुनने से नहीं, muster up. Repair your field of karma. Repair your mind and emotions, turn it towards the divine. Create that supporting edifice, standing on which you can now fly up high. I think we will stop here and continue from the 30th shloka in the next sequence, which will be announced in couple of days. It will be announced. So we will continue from the 30th to the 72nd shloka in the next wave in the next month. Before I wind up, while you leave today, there are these beautiful flyers, front and back, which gives the entire itinerary of the Chinmaya Amrit Vahini, which is doing the Amrit Yatra. We have the beautiful opportunity to host them for 3 days. Rest of the centers, it is coming in the morning, and by next day morning they are moving on to the next center. Here we have the opportunity for 3 days. Let us make this celebration worthwhile. It is not that Chinmaya Mission gets to be 75 years every year. So this is a great opportunity. So you take one flyer for Atmanam, for yourself. Take a bunch more. Give it to those people that you know are interested in it, or you are confident that you can create an interest in them. Yena kena prakarena, samadhana dandabheda. Take a few more that you are confident that you can reach out to people and convince them to be a part of this, so that everybody gets blessed by this yatra that is coming. So the dates are this month, May 24th, 25th, 26th. Though the yatra is there for 3 days, the day that we have to focus here in Kundanbag area is 1 day, is the 25th. Morning, as we welcome the yatra, the entire entourage of yatra, we will welcome it from the bridge all the way down to the other end of this Kundanbag road, to that basti there, and then turn around and come back. So morning 6:30 to 8:30. 8:30 is an approximation. We will do the yatra, bring it in celebratory fervor into the ashram, welcome Gurudev and his Padukas. In the afternoon, they will go to Birla Mandir. There are many temples that it will be taken to, so that the devotees can have the opportunity to have that darshan of Vahini, Amrit Vahini. So we just got the permission from the Birla Mandir also. So it will be going to Birla Mandir on the 25th. 26th and 27th, the same yatra will be taken in the morning to Skandagiri, and in Skandagiri you know where it is. Padmarao Nagar, other side of Secunderabad. Then in the evening it will be taken to Ramalayam in Kondapur, just opposite the Google building. There is a Ramalaya, very old temple. So there it will be for display for people to come and take blessings. So this is on the 26th, those two temples, Skandagiri and Ramalaya. 25th evening from 6:30 to 8:30 we will welcome Puja Gurudev, that Pratima, in all grand fervor, and then we will have the celebration of the Paduka Puja, and then we will have some culturals by the school students, some bhajans, dance program. The the Yuvagis that are coming along with this yatra, who are going for 295 days all across Bharat, they will be having a rich experience of going around. So we will ask them to share their experiences. You don't know which word can set up that fire of inspiration in us, especially coming from the young minds. So we will listen to them, and then we will have prasada, not prasada, but prasada. So this is the program. Therefore, take the flyers, keep one for yourself and distribute as many you think you can distribute. There are enough flyers available. There are enough flyers available. We have young volunteers distributing it. Kindly take it. And as we wind up, the Guru Dakshina covers envelopes that you have brought in. Make sure that you have the following information written on it. Because Kali Yuga, to find those who are interested in Satsanga is very difficult. So now that we know that you are interested, give us your name, number, that number which we know you will pick. Don't give the number which is in some cell phone which you never pick. So give a usable number and your address, so that we can add you into the WhatsApp groups and the information can reach out to you. Various programs, festivals that we celebrate can reach to you. So give us that and fill that form, and form meaning that envelope itself has all that information, and then give it to us. While you are leaving, you can drop it off in the box that is kept there in the back. And outside as you go, we have the prasada. So please take that prasada. Most of the, are they mangoes? Prasada ni enu. Are they mangoes? I mentioned this yesterday, that if that which you are donating is 2000 or up, do not forget to write your PAN numbers. Otherwise, the chartered accountants and the IT department will be behind us. So please help us do that. And the mangoes that will be given is from our own ashram. So please partake that. Make sure that it arrives here on time from the ashram. We have one ashram in Vijayawada, Chinmay Sitaram ashram. It is from there. So please feel the rasa of the ashram. You will know when you get it. We'll conclude now. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.